Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 7. Lucky 7. Maybe it's like this.
Why are you
I
doing? Just
hate
go like
your
this. You
opinion.
can just go like this. Why are you doing two hands? Oh, have you seen Madame Morble MM flip it around? Wicked witch. Do you know that?
I feel like there's something in my teeth, and I'm very tempted to use the DJI camera to check it out. But that would
Use
be
your
not
phone.
pleasant for our viewers, so I'm gonna check it real quick.
Madame Morble MM flip it around. Wicked witch. That's been like stuck in my head.
Well, I did not watch that, so
No,
good for you.
it's Michelle Yeoh. Like she plays Madame Morrible, like on the evil people in Wicked, and people are saying it's like it's her 6'7" because she keeps saying like if you take like of Madame Morrible and you flip it around, it's Wicked Witch. She keeps doing that. It's so funny. Anyways.
Alright, we gotta start the pod, Maddie. No one knows what you're talking about.
Everyone knows what I'm talking.
Okay.
Do you want to give a disclaimer of how you're feeling right now? What you told me earlier today.
I'm
Did you make a
feeling-
decision?
okay. Well, I've been feeling weary and tired, and I feel like I'm running out of things to talk about on the podcast. But
We've only
Maddie,
had 6, by the way.
I was listening to last week's podcast that was just released, and I remember feeling kind of the same way. I didn't really feel like I had it in me that day, but listening to it, I was like, wait, this is kind of fun. So maybe I don't need to feel it. Maybe I just be. And
That's what I'm
we keep
saying. I
going.
think we could talk forever.
I can
Not
talk forever.
forever.
I've never felt that about myself, but maybe it's a new reality for me.
I-
But what I was saying was maybe we should like take a break and then come back with a season 2. Or
And
should we
for
just
me,
keep
I was
it
like,
rolling?
dude, what do you mean take a break? Like, also, Philip, I need you to have the mic closer to you because I always have to like raise your volume like crazy. Okay.
Okay.
Just like put it like right in front of you. Anyways, thank you. I was saying, dude, it's only been the 6th episode. Like, are we like, you know what's crazy is like, are we gonna speak 6 times in our life and then like after that we're never gonna have anything to talk about? And you already want a break. And so I offered, I was like, okay, sure, like if you feel tired. And you know what was funny? In
What's
our in our notes app, one of his little like bullet points, because we have like ideas for which also, by the way, we have a freaking long list of like stuff to talk about. That's why I prepared the list. One of his bullet points was maybe I'm not an introvert. And Guy got tired after 6 episodes.
It's weird because like I'm not like tired, but it's like an accumulated tiredness just from doing the podcast. So it's like I only feel tired when I think about doing the podcast, which is like kind of a special type of introvert, I think. But I think we can talk
What do
about
you mean special type?
I think we can talk about being an introvert because I'm gonna sneeze. No, I'm not
Bless
gonna
you.
sneeze. No, it's gone. Okay. um do you remember when I was like feeling all like really good and all that stuff?
Yeah, dude, what's wrong? Are you PMSing? Why it goes up? Why does it go up and down?
Well, it's because
You PMS more than I do, bro.
okay. But when you do, it's really bad. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry. Sorry about that.
Dude, you don't
Um,
even have like these kinds of hormones to get a mood swing, and you get it anyway. So who's worse?
It's not a competition, Maddie.
It's not.
But my point is, I was feeling like really
This is
good.
not a
What was that? Like 2 weeks ago? And I remember around that time, I was like so social. I was like dancing in front of people. I was all yeehaw, yeehaw. I was like a cowboy. I was a mermaid. I was anything. Like, I was just being me. And then so that's where that thought came from. I was like, maybe I'm not an introvert. Maybe I'm actually just
You had
secretly,
one good week and you're like,
yeah,
I'm an extrovert.
not just an
Wow.
extrovert, but a secret extrovert. Maybe I was a secret extrovert.
Like I think what happened is, you know how people say like there are a lot of extroverted introverts. Like when you're around people, like if you're an introvert, but if you're around people that like you genuinely have fun with, like you become extroverted. Maybe it
Yeah,
was just like that. I
yeah.
mean, like were you around like different strangers and you're like, wow, like this, you know?
No, no, I was around people I was comfortable with, but even
Yeah,
then,
so you're
I'm
just an
not usually
extroverted
like
introvert.
that. I'm not like that usually, I'm not,
Maybe you're feeling more and more comfortable with them, you know?
maybe. But,
I think I'm an introverted extrovert because I don't like go. I like, you know how you're saying you were feeling tired of doing like thinking about the podcast. Whenever like someone invites me to go outside or like hang out, I like don't want to go because I'm just like I don't want to go outside, right? But like the instant I hit, like the hangout, then I like have so much fun. And then like I leave feeling very energized, you know? I think that's one of the telltale signs of that you're an extrovert. Is like after you leave a social gathering, you like feel like your battery is like at 100%, you know?
yeah. So, I think that is a common experience of extroverts. And I'm decidedly probably not an extrovert because I don't feel that way most of the time. But I did have moments of feeling very like not introverted sometimes. And here's
I mean, no one can be
my
100%
idea.
one or the other.
Oh yeah, for sure. But my problem with this scale of introvert extrovert is that it's masking a lot of other issues that you might be having that
For
might show
like in general or just
symptoms
you?
in general, right? So,
Okay.
okay, so you're presenting as an introvert, you're showing the symptoms of being an introvert,
Are you
but
sick?
actually, you're just insecure. Like, I think that's a
No,
very
that
big
can
thing.
like that sounds super valid and like very very plausible.
Yeah. And then I think the issue that comes is, oh, I'm just introvert, or he's just an introvert, or I'm really introverted. But then that's like, it sounds like a non issue. Like, oh yeah, everyone's on this scale of being introverted and extroverted. But then when the reality is, like, you're super insecure, then
Yeah,
it
but
shouldn't be
that make
covered up by just saying you're an introvert. Like, you need to
no
tackle that
that
problem. What do you think?
that makes a lot of sense. But then some people can just genuinely be introverted, you know? So you just never know. Because you can also be extroverted and mask, your like inferiority complex or something, you know? It could be like also like that. So I think it maybe just depends on who you are. Like whether you're like introverted or extroverted, if you're like insecure or you're like if you have a complex, then it will show either in introversion or extroversion, just whichever way that God made you, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I see that.
Which is
I
so
see that.
crazy because I think about like I was like super introverted growing up, which is crazy to think about.
Because you're
Like
insecure.
what?
Were you insecure?
No, I was very insecure, I think. That's
Yeah,
why I'm
that's my
saying
point.
you're
That's my
low key
point.
valid.
Yeah.
Um but I think like the extroversion was always inside of me,
Mm-hmm.
but like you're right, like it was shown as like introversion. I was also like I remember taking the MBTI a long time ago when I was a child, when I was very young, and I got INTP, which is crazy because now I'm ESFJ. I know many people don't like personality types, but I genuinely enjoy those. But anyways, I remember I think anyone who knew me when I was like a kid, I was quite introverted, but I was also very. I mean, not much has changed from me being sarcastic, but I was also very super cynical and very like angry all the time or yeah, I was like probably masking a lot of insecurity. I don't know, like you prepubescent, of course you have a lot of insecurities, and they say that your personality continues to change until you're like 30. So I don't know. What were you like as a kid?
Um,
I think you Loki talked about it in the Albert Einstein one, right?
what did it say in that one? What do you remember from that?
I remember you were just talking about like your childhood.
Mm.
And I only said that. I only said I think you talked about it because I don't want you to have to repeat yourself. And our viewers are, we have 22 subscribers,
Oh yeah.
and I think two of those are
I don't
ourselves.
know
So we have
about
20.
you. I'm feeling 22.
No, technically we have 20 because I subscribed with one of my own personal accounts.
That's
Just to keep
fine. We
an
can be our own
eye.
fans. I endorse being your own
But
fan.
okay, you
You
know
have
what I
to be
want to
your number
say?
one supporter, always. Alright, go ahead.
I think actually think that's wrong. I think you can't rely on yourself.
I disagree.
Because I think you're also your biggest hater. Like, yes, you have the potential to be your biggest fan, but there's no doubt that you are your own biggest hater, you know? I think people will fail you and yourself will also fail you, but like like humanity was not made to like be alone, you know? You like have to rely on other people in spite of their, their failures and their flaws. So I don't think you can be your own biggest fan. I think maybe you just gotta be okay with things going wrong in your life. I think that's what you have to be to yourself. Not a fan. Because how
Okay.
can I be a fan when I'm also a hater? You're making
But
me
you
like
don't have
sick
to
through
be a
the
hater.
screen.
I don't feel like a hater of myself right now.
But it's
I'm
like
only a fan.
inside. Bro, you told me the other day you're like, I think I'm a loser. Like,
When
what do
was
you mean?
this?
No, in our Discord.
When
Remember
did I
when you
say that?
misunderstood my question? You're like, if there's one word to describe me, it'd be loser. Bro,
But
nobody's
okay,
calling you a loser.
I don't, when I say I'm a loser, I say that almost lovingly with my new perspective. I'm like, okay, look
What's
at
your new
this
perspective?
loser. Look at this loser trying to get out of his loserness, shed the loser shell. Like I'm like proud of myself. Like that's the loser that all
You know,
losers should aspire to be. So I'm okay with it, you know.
you know what's like, well, I don't know how to describe this feeling, but I feel like throughout all of our episodes up until this point, like, you've created kind of not created but you've unveiled this kind of like persona of you, like more and more of you is like being revealed and like coming out, not like that it was I mean it's not that it's new, but like more and more is being explained, and like I said before, like you are so difficult to understand for me, so now I'm kind of like I'm enjoying like untangling like your mind, you know.
I'm glad to hear. And yeah, I think if anything, I don't think I'm that complicated. It's just that I'm like not willing to share, or I haven't been willing to share a lot of this stuff.
Okay, no, I disagree.
So,
I disagree because I think
okay.
it's not that you're not willing to share. I think you just genuinely don't know.
Okay, yeah, lack of awareness, self-awareness. I can
But sometimes you are like you're too self-aware sometimes, but there's just something that you just can't say about yourself and I just don't know what it is. And maybe some of our viewers can freaking comment and like
well,
tell us what,
don't treat
what they
them with such
think.
hostility. Like let them be. Like be the silent viewer. I don't mind. I really don't mind. You know, it makes me happy that people tune in and, you know,
Wait,
are
me too.
secret
It does make
fans.
me happy.
Yeah.
Like when our friends say like, "Oh, I enjoyed this recent episode," and they make like little comments to us. But
Right.
comment it on the freaking video, guys. Comment down below.
You don't have to. You don't have to. Okay, but about your point with self-awareness, I think you can be self-aware, but you're not you're reaching the wrong answers. Maybe I said this in a previous episode, but like you think you're self-aware, but you're getting the wrong conclusions. You're wrong about yourself. You're like you're like figuring out things about yourself that are not true. Like for example, for me that was feeling like, oh, I just can't control this part of myself. I thought I was being self-aware by saying that, oh, I can't control this compulsive thing about myself. But then
Mm-hmm.
through like really like that was being self-aware, but I was wrong. Like ultimately, and this is where the self-reliance comes in, like you are accountable for even like the compulsive feelings you have. Maybe not, I'm not saying this for every person, for my personal experience. Even if it doesn't feel like you can control it in the moment. So, I don't know, I'm just becoming more self-aware, more correctly
Do you
self-aware.
think you would have? I know, like not me or any of our friends have been like directly involved in all these like epiphanies that you've been having. But if we weren't here to like give our 2 cents here and there, do you think you would still come to those conclusions? Like if you were genuinely living in solitary confinement, do you think you would come to any of those conclusions?
I think I have been living in a degree of solitary confinement. Wait, okay, no. When I first moved, it was basically solitary confinement.
I don't think I
um,
would survive in solitary
I
confinement.
think I was too miserable to really like have the space to like figure it out, you know? So I
But
think
then
that's
you
how you guys
made a
contribute.
lot of friends.
Yeah. But I don't want to keep talking about
Boom.
myself. I want to go back to the introvert MBTI thing. You were
Oh,
talking
okay,
about
yeah.
MBTI. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What were you saying?
Um, just that some people don't like it. Or
No,
find
you were saying you used to be INTP and then you turned to ESFJ.
yeah.
And that makes me question you. Like, what are you really? Like, are you this ambiguous amoeba that
Well,
can
no, I was
shapeshift into anything?
no, I think when I was like obviously when I was like 12, 13 years old, like my life was so volatile, you know? I didn't
Mm-hmm.
know anything about anything and I thought I knew everything. So, what are you really supposed to do in that sense?
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, and now I think having experienced more, obviously not a lot, um, but like deciding on what I believe and stuff like that has more solidified what my personality is like. Um, Not that it's gonna be solid anytime soon or like solid ever. Not that anyone like no one is so 2D that, you know, well, I feel like there's probably some really 2D people in the world, but you know, as for me, I'm quite more than 2D. What were we gonna ask about MBTI?
Um, I think,
Oh, why do I shape shift?
yeah.
I think I've just my experiences have built me to what I am like now. How about that? And back then, like how many years of like sentient experience did I have when I was 12 years old? Like not many, so you can't really count that as anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like I used to think that MBTI was super useless and I hated being categorized into it. And then
Like our other friend.
yeah, yeah. And then I encountered situations where I really, really, really wanted to understand someone. So I like dove
Oh my
headfirst deep
gosh,
into
for love.
MBTI. And
You're
then,
using my method. And
yeah.
you met me and I explained to you why I like it.
Oh, yeah. You kind of helped me appreciate it a little bit more. But then I,
Flatter.
after that thing with that person, like I didn't want to understand that person anymore. So I like went back to my previous position that MBTI is useless. And I think there's only one good purpose of MBTI, and that
What?
is
You're freaking? The freaking? Is it?
the one good purpose of MBTI is to flirt with Koreans.
No. Do you
Yeah.
want to say? Do you want to say it?
And I feel bad because it's so cringe, but I love this method. Wait, and the thing is I've never really used it like on someone I actually wanted
You.
to flirt with.
Oh.
It's just why are you laughing at me? It's just a foolproof method,
Bro,
like
when
I
do I not laugh at
guarantee.
you?
Um that's true. So, if you want to hear the secret method of flirting with MBTI, leave a comment. When we get to 50 likes,
Yeah,
I'll drop the
you
secret.
have to comment if you want to know what his method is because
All
it's
right.
really funny and it's stupid, by the way.
Okay, now that you
Yes,
commented,
yes.
we're back with the method. So here's the trick.
No, no, wait,
What?
keep it for another.
No, we'll do this with the what's the honor method?
Honor
What do you call
system.
it? Yeah, honor system. Honor system. We trust that you commented, liked, subscribed. I will drop
Dude,
the
someone's
Riz
playing, like,
technique.
multiple people are playing this on 2 times speed and they already heard you say, okay, now that you've. No honor. There's no honor in this world. Trust me.
It's okay, it's okay. I'm gonna give this method out for free. And it's so revolutionary because you don't even have to do anything. It's gonna come to you if you're in circles of people that do MBTI, which is Korean people. Korean people will bring up MBTI the moment they meet you. And actually, my first theory of MBTI is that MBTI is just the astrology for Koreans. Okay,
Korean
like
people.
that's what that's
But
how I view it. Like
I don't think so. Like, it's at least based a little bit on who you are. Astrology is just like,
it's
oh, when I was born, the
yeah,
stars were like this. Nuh-uh.
it's like the same
But I know what you
function
mean.
though.
It's like,
Yeah,
it's the same function. If they're like,
yeah,
oh, I'm a Scorpio and you're a Cancer, like we don't match, you know? If someone's like,
yeah,
oh, I'm ISFJ and you're ENTP, we did not match, you know?
yeah.
It's just kind of like a super shallow level of understanding. That's what you're trying to say, right?
Exactly, exactly. And like it could be shallow, it could be not that shallow. I don't really care, but it's just it's about the same usefulness, I think. Like, oh, I'm a Cancer, you're a Capricorn. We'll get along or we won't get along or whatever. Like it's like who really dissects it when someone asks you what your MBTI is and they say it's oh, it's an INTJ and then you're like, "Oh,
Okay.
like who like actually thinks like makes
Later,
judgments
I
about
want to
you as a person?"
explain. I want to explain my perspective on it. Okay, but you go
Yeah.
first.
Okay. So,
You have to
I
say what
have
that thing.
been through enough conversations where it starts off first conversation, it's a Korean person, Korean girl. They ask you what your MBTI is, and I'm like, okay, INFP, INFP, INFP. And then I realized this is just a missed opportunity. Like, I clearly don't actually give a crap about what your MBTI is. You're just asking to make conversation. So the trick is when you're asked for your MBTI, you can just say it, whatever, just casually. And then you ask what theirs is, and then they'll probably say it as well. And then to that, you say, oh, like, I don't think we'll get along. It doesn't matter what MBTI you are or she is. It doesn't matter. Just say, oh, I don't really think we'd get along. And the key point is like, there has to
It's just
be,
he's just doing reverse psychology.
yeah, yeah. But if you had a neutral to good rapport before this, they're going to be confused, right? They're going to question, like, oh, why does he think we're not going to get along? And they're going to start trying to justify why you will get along. In a sense, they're convincing themselves why you would be a good fit together or get along. You
Stupid.
don't, just by turning it around like that, you don't even have to convince them that you'd be a good fit. They convince themselves. So why don't we demonstrate, Maddie?
Okay,
You
am I
ask me.
me or am I, or am I like the person that you're thinking of? Because
You're the
I know how
person.
it goes. Okay,
You're
okay,
the person.
okay. I'll act it out.
Okay. Wait, what?
Am I?
I think
What do I go first?
um you have to ask what the MBTI is. You have to ask me what my MBTI is.
Oh, what's your MBTI?
Oh, my MBTI is INFP. What's yours?
I'm ESFJ.
Oh, I I don't really think we'd get along.
Huh? Why? Why do you think that? Why do you think that? No, but we get along. We get along, right? That's what you want them to
Do
say.
you think we get along?
Yeah, what are you talking about? We get along
Yeah, see?
really well.
Yeah, yeah. And then boom, boom. It's done. She now wants to be your friend without you doing anything. Isn't that amazing? It works for both genders.
Okay, in a
100%
realistic
success rate.
scenario, if there was like some random guy and he like tried to do that trick on me, and me not knowing it was a trick, I would genuinely be like, "Oh, why do you think that?" And he would have to state some reasons. But if they use it casually, then sure, the situation could play out like that.
You just have to turn it around. Oh, like, oh, do you think we wouldn't get along? Or do you think we would get along? All right. It's as easy as that. All right. Oh, okay. And this is an unpatched Riz technique that you should all be using to get your Korean
Unpatched.
baddies. I'm just spreading it because
So you're
I'm
so
okay
full
with
of
not using
goodwill.
this technique. Yeah. I'm okay with it getting like dispersed everywhere. So it's a very powerful thing, MBTI, but that's
Oh yeah.
as far as I find it useful. I don't think MBTI is useful. What do you think?
Okay. Oh, great segue. Great segue.
Yeah.
Okay. Oops, sorry. Am I in frame for you? So I was telling Philip, or one of our other friends doesn't like personality tests for the reasons Philip had stated earlier, that he doesn't like to be categorized. And I think uh, what that friend's perspective is that if someone can say that, you know, you're ISTJ, they can start making assumptions about you that probably like aren't necessarily true, you know, because there'll be stereotypes of like a Cancer, right? Like take astrology for like you're just a crybaby all the time, right? And you could be a Cancer and yes, like you're a little sensitive, but you're not a crybaby all the time. But whoever like really truly believes in astrology will like just assume you're a crybaby and start walking in eggshells around you, you know? So I think in that sense, people don't like personality types, right? Which makes a lot of sense, right? If someone only takes, you know, these personality types as very surface level, of course you're gonna get into some misunderstandings, especially if you like you deeply believe, you know, you have to be this way if you're a ENTP or whatever, right? However, you know, if you, and I'm not saying like I'm like a super strong believer, I'm saying everybody got to get behind it, because personally, and I think, you know, going back to how we grew up, I think I was a very narrow-minded girl. Um, and to be honest, like I still am, you know, in ways I'm entitled. You know, when things don't go my way, I get upset. When people don't think the same way I do, I get upset, you know? And I think when I was younger, I was like that a lot. Um, but I think obviously experiences have happened. Friendships are difficult, relationships are difficult, right? And you learn things about people through trial and error, you know? And so, one of the reasons why I started really liking personality types in college was one, I think I'm also not a very articulate person. So, when I could kind of identify as like oh, a type 2 enneagram or a this MBTI, right? I can hear about what other people say, more smart, well-written people say about this personality type, and kind of be like, oh yeah, like I think it's kind of like looking in like a dirty mirror, right? When I have no mirror from the beginning. So I can hear a little bit about myself, and obviously with some discretion, you know. Maybe I'm not fully like this, but you know, to see a little bit of myself and what other people write. But then my main um, utility with MBTI is because of my narrow mindedness. And for example, I'm the kind of person, if I get into like a conflict with somebody, I want to resolve it like immediately. Like I want to talk it out immediately, right? But in college, I had a friend who I was having a conflict with, and they would not want to like talk out the conflict like immediately. Like they always wanted to like take some time to like think and have time to themselves, and I would get really frustrated. Like I would be so like guys, we are fighting like now. We need to do this now, right? But then I realized, you know, like some people just are not like that, you know? And the way MBTI plays into this is that um, you just have to realize, you know, some people can be completely different from you, and some people might be more T or F, or some people might be more S or N, you know? And so to be able to kind of categorize somebody for me is to be able to step into their shoes, I guess, a little bit, and to understand that people are different, and to kind of think of them in a different way that is not my way, right? Because we live with so many different people on this planet. There are no one, obviously, I will probably surround myself with like minded people, but even if you're with people who are like you're not always going to agree on stuff. So I think for me, MBTI or personality types are ways to just understand other people better in a way, not to put them in a box and make assumptions about them, but to start to accept that they can be a little different, think differently, act differently, respond to stimulus differently, you know? And in that way, like, my mind is opened a little bit more. Does that make sense?
It
I know
does
you're
make
fixing your camera the entire
sense.
time.
Yeah. I like that. I like the way you use it. And I think it's good. And
I definitely think it's less for self-awareness and more for just understanding other people. I know in Korea, like, they use MBTI as a super quick way to get like a good snapshot of what someone's like in like one instant without having to spend a whole bunch of time together, you know? Which I think that makes a lot of sense. But then again, if you like lean too much into, oh, you're ESFP, you must be like a party animal, right? You're like, no. I mean, I like hanging out with people, but I'm not a party animal, you know? So you just can't fall too deeply into it. Too much of a good thing becomes bad, you know?
yeah.
So yeah, I mean, same for astrology. Yeah. Astrology, I don't see any merits in that. I'm sorry, but
So I can accept your usage of MBTI to try to get to know someone that you're having differences with,
yeah,
right?
exactly. I
But
think I was
I have an
rambling a little. I
experience.
apologize.
I have an experience where I was doing MBTI just for that purpose, and it just ended up hurting me in the end. And
For the purpose I just said.
yes, to understand someone that was different from me, I wanted to understand them so bad.
I mean,
Um,
okay, I think it's less about like understanding them completely and more just being like, okay, you know what? My way isn't always the way, you know? Does that make sense? It's less about like fully understanding them. Because then I think if you get too much into that, you're gonna get frustrated of the parts that don't match with their MBTI, right?
yeah,
So I think that's maybe where you got it a little wrong, perhaps. What do you think?
I don't know. But let me tell my story. I forget which MBTI it was. Do you know, Maddie? It's a specific MBTI that I find these people are terrible texters. And I was like, okay, maybe there's some credence to this MBTI thing. Because why is it these two people text the exact same
Oh, you
way?
know, you kept referencing a person, but I didn't know who you're talking about until now. Until now.
What
Do you want me
MBTI
to
is
say
it?
it? It's
What MBTI is it?
ISTP. It's
ISTP.
ISTP.
Okay, ISTP slash ESTPs. Like the way you text is so sad. Like it makes you question whether these are real people. Like, are you a real person or are you a robot? Like, there's
No, ESTP
no.
is different, I think. I think it's
Okay.
just ISTP. ISTP
All
or
right.
INTP.
Anyway, so
I'll be honest, because my sister's an INTP and she sucks at texting.
interesting. Um,
I feel like it's the T and the P, and then that makes it a back texter, and then the I combine that combination.
I think it's a S.
I don't think so, but
You
you can
don't think so?
continue.
I don't know. But anyway, I had,
I think you just got
let's
really
say,
frustrated. You don't want to deal with it anymore because you got it's too much like imagine you hate like grasshoppers and you're like I need to understand grasshoppers and you just look at pictures of them all day then you're just gonna hate your life, you know?
yeah. There was a person that was very, very, very attractive to me, but clearly incompatible. But the thing is, in person, it felt not. It felt fine. Like it didn't feel like a match made in heaven. But in person, I had a quite a good time, and we had a quite a good talk. But then when it comes to texting, it's like this person was the absolute worst, the worst of the worst. Like
Ah, I know who
every
you're
time
thinking.
I texted, I would be praying for a text back, basically. And even when I did get a text back, it would be so dry and so boring and so devoid of creativity and fun, and they wouldn't get any of
Damn.
my wit. Like I feel like I have a subtle witty like texting
I think
thing.
then you just need to find somebody who is a good texter. That's it, you know?
Yeah, I think so.
But
But yeah,
but I
basically
know
I
what you're
was
talking about.
yeah.
I know who you're talking about. And the two other people you're talking about, they're all ISTP. So, you know, I
Yeah.
have to kind of agree with the texting.
Yeah, it was a pattern. It was not one isolated
Which is,
incident.
yeah, so I think it's kind of funny that it turned out like that. What do you think? It's kind of funny.
Yeah, it was kind of funny, but because of that person, because I found her like so attractive and so like cool in person, but so bad at texting, I was just so confused. So I dove into all these videos about
Mm.
ISTP, and I just
Really?
was
I didn't know
spending
you did that.
so much time trying to understand what was going on in her mind.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, I don't need to actually try to
Yeah.
understand and accommodate that. Like, okay, clearly this is not
No,
really
yeah, I
working.
totally.
Yeah.
You made a very good point, right? Like, the more you try to accommodate, the more, you know, not the more of yourself that you lose, but it's just kind of time wasted, right? Um, there's boundaries. But I didn't know you did that. I didn't know you looked up all these videos on ISTV. I I mean, yeah, I don't know.
It was funny
It's
because
just
every video I watched, like the INFP, ISTP compatibility was the worst of the worst. And I was trying to make it work. I was like, wait, how do I overcome this?
do you I know you have that chart. What are the ones
Yeah,
that you're most compatible with?
I don't really
Do you
remember,
remember?
but I remember like um, ENFP was compatible. Um, I can pull it up, but my Instagram's like almost dead, or my phone's almost dead, so I don't want to risk it.
I think you sent it to me.
But
But
it's a funny
yeah.
story about how I got that chart in the first place. I don't know if I want to share it.
You don't have to. I don't really remember.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, it's an old story, so maybe it's okay. I don't know. I don't really know.
I'm trying to look up MBTI in our Discord. And, and I said, I think our friend was asking what his MBTI was, and I said, your MBTI is IDGAF.
What? Why would you say that?
IDGAF. No, I told. He said, Maddie, what's my MBTI again? Korean people are asking, and I don't remember. And I told him. And he's like, but I low key think they're just asking me so they can shut me down. Like Philip, so I'll chase them. And then I said, say your MBTI is IDGAF.
Wait, that's kind of
Oh my
funny.
gosh.
But
Stroke
I
of
don't think our
genius. Not
listeners
stroke of genius.
understand
I'm
what's going
always a
on.
genius.
Who said that? Not me, right? It was someone else.
No.
Our friend B.
Yeah.
Okay.
So funny. Dude, why am I so funny? Anyways. But okay, personally, my faves, I'm to I know I'm saying I don't use MBTI to make stereotypes, but one thing about me is that like pretty much all of my friends are I something something P. My friend or my sister is, you are, I'm pretty sure our friend A is, my friends, like pretty much all of them, all the ones that you know that you've met, they're all I something something P. And so I would say those are my favorite types of people. And then the people I don't get along with, it's the I something something J. And just from my past experience, I can count multiple people. 4 that I didn't get along with. And one of them is our friend B.
Oh,
He's the
that's
I
funny.
something something J. Um,
But you know what, Maddie? I wouldn't even say
but we
we
make it
get
work, you know?
along. We don't even get along, Maddie. We barely get along. But I'm an
No, we get
IP.
along because I accept your flaws. How about that?
That's true. That's true.
And that's just the ESFJ in me, you know?
Okay, okay.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I can't even like rely on MBTI to like understand you because you're still so like you know what your MBTI is? Your MBTI is IDK. That's MBTIs. I don't even know who you are.
Wait, I want to shout out my favorite MBTI.
Who? I want to know. I want to
It's
know.
I think my favorite is INTP. I love you, INTPs. And if you know who you are, you know who you are.
Is
Shout out
Karina
to
an INTP?
no, and Karina wouldn't watch this.
Oh,
Okay.
how do you
But
know? How do you know? I'm gonna DM it to her.
I don't know. I find the INTPs have like beautiful thoughts, that I resonate with.
Hmm.
But maybe it's just this one person. And I'm making it sound like I'm in love with this person, which is not. I just like this person's thoughts. That's it. um, yeah, I guess I'm kind of contradicting myself because I am alluding to MBTI as a way to kind of get people. But I think there's so many other ways that you can try to like get to know people, and MBTI can be one of the tools, but it has to be like one of those unreliable tools. Like you shouldn't be really like looking too deep and confirming things.
Yeah.
Because me and my friend A are both INFPs, but we're
Mm-hmm.
very different. Very
Oh,
different.
dude,
Yeah.
he is an INFP if I ever seen one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like major. I would be curious as to what your Enneagram is, because I think for me when I was super into the Enneagram. Are you familiar?
I am.
When I was super into it, I think the Enneagram was what helped me understand myself more. Because it was framed, I think MBTI is framed as more like very positive when you're like reading the descriptions online. Like, you're a leader and you're a caretaker and you'd be a great wife or husband, right? You'd be a great teacher, whatever, right? So I think it's very easy to, when you're taking the test, to be like, to the answers you write down isn't who you actually are. It's who you want to be, right? I
I
remember a
agree.
long time ago when I was, we did the MBTI for some reason, for whatever reason, in youth group. And I remember there was like this kid, and he had this like way about him that you kind of knew that when he like pulled up his MBTI, right? It was kind of like, okay, I kind of think that's just what you want to be,
I agree. That's
And
why
I think people can,
I said
yeah, in
before
that sense,
that,
it's unreliable, right?
yeah. I've said before that like I don't want to take my own MBTI. I think you guys should take my MBTI for me. Because like what if I'm wrong like about myself? And then I
I
actually
think
do remember when I take that test, I find myself thinking about it for a long time. Like I don't really know. I don't really know. And it's because
yeah,
of
you
those
don't know yourself.
confounding like no, it's because I have a hard time distinguishing between or I did have a hard time distinguishing between like what I really want versus like the
What you
obstacles
actually
that are
are.
holding me back or like the
Mm-hmm.
I hate to people were saying oh don't use the word trauma, you were saying trauma like those like
It's
little
okay.
trauma
It's a,
responses
yeah.
that that kind of hold back your true desires like is that me or is my desire me or is this trauma response me
Mm-hmm.
like it's hard to really like figure that out like am I really insecure or am I just introverted
Yeah.
or am I
I think it takes,
really extroverted or am I just always looking for validation from other people like it's like a nuance to it that you
I
don't
think
really
it
know.
takes like a kind of person to be able to take a test for yourself like that. I think in some cases, like, it would be better for your friends to take it. Like, there's some people who just, I'm not saying you're like the only kind of person in the whole entire world that's like that, who can't really describe themselves, because there's definitely a lot of other people who just live without thinking about them, like what kind of person they are, um, their whole life. But I don't know what I was gonna say. But yeah, that's
Yeah.
in that sense it is unreliable. But like I said, I was saying that MBTI is set up very positively. Like, you're a leader, you're a this, right? But I think Enneagram, I think its benefit is that it focuses on what your kind of um like the bane of your existence, basically, like what your flaw is, Like it types you kind of like based on your flaw. So, um, but then one thing that I kind of discovered a little bit later after college for MBTI is like the functions. So based on what letter, it's not like just like E is extroverted and J is judging, right? Like if you pair certain four letters together, you'll have functions. And I think they're like super interesting. I don't read it all, but there's like a website called like Practical Typing that I would read over and over and over again because it's just so interesting to learn about the functions. And in the same way, I think the Enneagram, it can like give you like a little bit of like a peephole into, what makes you tick or what are your motivations and your desires, And so if you don't usually know like what kind of person you are, I think in a time during college where I was very confused all the time about who I was like on my own, who I was in relation to other people, like the Enneagram definitely helped me a little bit. So I'm curious as to what yours would be. I know I could definitely be able to tell our friend A is a 4. I think our friend B is a 5. I'm either a 2 or a 4.
Okay, I have no idea, and these numbers are meaningless, but I did take it before, and I just remember
What'd you
I
get?
liked that they had wings in the Enneagram. I don't remember which numbers they were, but like
Chicken wings?
this swing,
Do you know that song?
this swing, this. Go ahead.
Do you know the song chicken wing, hot dog and bologna, chicken and macaroni, chillin' with my homies.
No, but I do know this song. I don't wanna be a chicken, I don't wanna be a duck, so kiss my butt, quack, 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 quack.
I don't know what that is. That sounds super lame compared to the one I just sang.
It's from Jimmy Neutron. If you knew that, comment in the comments down below. Jimmy Neutron Club, heads up.
Dude, I was watching because I edited the video yesterday for our last podcast, and the way you cracked up was so bad when my mom rated me an 8. You actually laughed so hard. That was really funny. When I watched it over again, and I cut it specifically so that right when I was like, I don't know if it's good or bad, and I cut it to when I was like, it's bad. So funny. Movie magic. Okay, I did want to bring something up. Are we done with the
With
with the
MBTI, I
you
think
know?
just I was just surprised that you didn't bring up like because I remember you told me in the car once a healthy person is trying to be in the middle of the
Ah.
MBTIs, and that's
Yeah,
what was kind of like eye opening for me. Oh, I can see that. Like,
Mm-mm.
it's not that I am an INFP. It's that I can work on becoming a little more extroverted. I can work on becoming a little more like planning oriented, right?
Yeah, I
It's
think
yeah.
cause when you take the test, it'll have like a bar, right? And it's I and E, and then it'll have like this much of the bar I, and then like this much of the bar E. So it's like a spectrum. So it's like I could be an ESFJ, but I could be like 48 I and 52 E, and that would make me an E, right? But then some people can be like an 80% E and a 20% I. And then me and that person are completely different, right? And it was like kind of a joke, but it was also kind of my theory. Did I tell you about Jesus when I thought about Jesus?
Oh, do you think Jesus is in the middle for everything?
Yeah, I think Jesus was 50% on everything. That's my theory. I think I told my sister that. But that's my like silly little theory that Jesus
Mm.
was completely in the middle if he had to be
Oh,
typed.
I like
He
that.
would
I
get the
like that
question
thought.
he would get the question mark MBTI. He would get IDEK. I don't even
Mm-hmm.
know.
Wow. I think
Um
that's cool. That's cool. I think actually for me, I think I'm like F, but I think my T is also kind of developed. I think my F and T are like pretty good. I
it's a
think that's
percentage, right? It's like a
my
percentage.
I think that's why I kind of can get
Okay,
along with people.
before
Why?
you
What do
say
you think I was gonna
anything,
say? Yeah.
I I think and it makes me a little frustrated. I think people misunderstand the T and the F, what that really means, okay? And I'm not gonna go into it because I could speak forever on this. But
Yeah, please don't.
um are we done with MBTI? Because I want to bring something up.
Yeah. Well, I was
I
just
want to
saying,
bring up what.
I think like people who are so feeling and empathetic, end up hurting others. Like it happens all the freaking time. Like I see it
Yeah.
with my own
No,
eyes.
this is
And
right. And take J or P, right? In a very TLDR sense, like J is a very planning, strict person, and the stereotype for P is they're very spontaneous and flexible, and sometimes like they don't plan at all, right? So if you're way on one side of P, then your life is gonna always might always be in shambles, and you'll always have to keep fixing your mistakes as they come up, right? But if you're too strict like J, then you're gonna like what is it, pigeonhole yourself. So like I said, if you're too much on one side, you can come to the middle like Jesus.
yeah, I think one last thing. I'm like super P, right? I'm super
Yeah, I
spontaneous and
can
stuff.
tell.
But one thing is like it's true for me and not for thee. Not for like if you're trying to be spontaneous with my time, I'm like no, like I don't like that. Like in that case, I do want a plan.
See,
So
and that's why it's
yeah,
like you really can't just categorize someone as like INFP, right? Because it depends on where the percentage is. So if I was like an INFP, say I'm an INFP and you're an INFP, but I'm INFP where I'm like 90% I and I'm 10% E, but you're like 60% I and 40% E, then we're gonna be very different people, even if we have the same MBTI. And then also multiple other factors, aka the three other letters. So
yeah,
you can't, if you think MBTI is very linear, it's not.
yeah. So
Don't
yeah, I think the
take it like that.
conclusion for MBTI is it can be useful and
It's a
helpful.
tool, it's not a law, okay?
Yes, for sure. But and you can use it. It's helpful for mainly for flirting, but it has other purposes as well. But if you use it, if you read
Other
into it
purposes, I
too
don't know.
much, like it's just gonna constrain you and how you
Your
see people.
downfall.
Yeah. All right. I think you had something you wanted to say, right? Bring up.
Do you, am I allowed to bring up what you said in the Discord today?
Uh, the extremely private thing that I wouldn't want anyone to know. It depends on what thing.
Okay, I'll bring up the other thing. Um, I asked you, what do you bring to the table? And I think we kind of mentioned this a little bit in the past hour. But you were saying about and we mentioned it in another episode. I don't really remember. But
Wait, we talk
you
about
were
this every episode. I don't want to talk about this. Okay, wait. If you can bring up the other thing, as long as you don't bring in the extra details. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't really remember, and I don't really want to understand.
Okay.
Okay, we don't have to talk about it if you don't want to. Look at this guy. He's always oppressing me.
Yeah. That's me. Okay, so we'll go back to the other thing then. So, yeah, the thing that I bring to the
No,
table.
it's okay. It's okay. Don't.
The what do I bring
Oh,
to the
yeah, yeah,
table?
no.
What do I bring to the table? Always being
Like,
asked this
if you
question.
want,
What do you bring
like,
to the table?
if you want, like, a girlfriend who's super awesome and cute and, like, takes care of you all the time, then what are you offering in return? Can I say what you said in the Discord?
Sure.
Is it true or not?
You can say it.
He said that when I said, what do you have to bring to the table for you to keep someone like that? And he said, being cool and charming.
Yes. We talked about this before. We talked about the when we were talking about cha unu and all that stuff. Remember? Okay. Well,
I
our
don't take
viewers
that
will
as a valid
remember
answer.
if you're a true viewer. But um, yeah, I guess another thing we are talking about was I was talking about how like what if we just like started like living our lives in reverse? Like imagine I just had a kid. All right. It would kind of suck
Oh,
right
dang.
now, but it would be kind of cool, you know? Like you can really live life however you want. What do you think about that idea? Maddie, imagine you just popped out a kid right now.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, I do want a kid. I just don't really want the step in between a husband.
Okay, then why don't you just adopt? Go adopt a baby right now.
But like I can't because I don't make money like that. So I need one of those.
You make
And
you
okay,
can
okay.
you
Here's my
can
perspective.
make enough money to be raising a kid while struggling, right?
I want a kid, but I don't think I'm ready to like be a mother. I think I've said this before, but there's a big difference, right? If you like are dating a guy and you're like, oh, if he's like, oh, I want a kid. He just wants a kid, but is he ready to be a father? You know. So that is a big difference. I'm not sure if I have what it takes because I'm like the baby right now. So I don't know. I don't think I'd be able to. I don't think I'd
You
be
need to
able to
grow
do
up,
that.
Maddie. It's time. It's time to have a kid.
I do need to grow up, but
Yeah.
and like I say, I bring this up every episode, but I'm just trying to use my time with my family as I can, you know, before I have my own life.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna
Very
say
good. Very good.
someone might be like, but what if you spend too much time and then it's too late? Okay, there's no too late. Okay, my life is planned out, whether I know it or not. So, um, yeah, I like that I can spend time with my mom and my dad and my family. Um, and I'm content with that. Because I see like all of you guys move away. And I know your priorities are probably different than mine. But sometimes it's like, oh, but if I moved away, I think I would miss my mom and my dad. And then I also, like, I want to watch, I don't want to, I want to spend as much time with them as I can before, I already said, I'm repeating myself. I don't know,
Before
I'm
their
just thinking about,
untimely demise. What's going on?
kind of, or like maybe before, I don't know. I'm only having this moment in time with my parents like once in my life, right? When they're old but they're young. They're not that old, and I'm old enough to take care of myself. Um, so like being able to spend this kind of specific time with them, I think is very precious to me. I'm not saying anybody who lives away from their parents is a loser. If anything, by societal standards, I'm the loser because I'm how many years old and I still live with my mommy, who scares me very much. By the way, I don't know if you saw how sad I got last episode.
You were having a
Did you
crisis.
watch it?
Yeah, I
I
did. You're
was, dude.
like,
I was literally having like emotional like roller coaster. I like in that first half of like that episode, dude. I was having the time of my life. It was going up, 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 and then my
up,
mom got
up,
mad
up.
at me.
It's my moment. Gonna be golden. And then your mom came in and she just threw you to the that scary part where the handsome demons are.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
luckily, my friend, my friend had this like really funny story, and whenever my mom gets mad at me, I like try to salvage it by like trying to come up with any like people pleasing. Like I get all like my all I put all my points into people pleasing, and I go to my mom and I try to talk about like clothes or skin or like makeup just to like turn her mood around. Luckily, one of my friends posted like a funny story, and I showed it to her, and she cracked TF up. So that really changed my night. So I was very grateful to that friend, and I told her I was like, "This story was so funny. You saved my life."
Can you share the story to our viewers or is it too sensitive?
No, it was basically my friend and her older sister, they're both like out of the house now, so their parents are empty nesters and their dad sent them a picture of like one of their old rooms with like a single person like blue light sauna in the room, and they just sent a picture and both the sisters were like, what the heck? And then my friend captioned it, empty nester parents just be doing anything, bruh. And I showed my mom and she thought that was so funny. So funny. She saved my life and I'm eternally grateful.
Yeah.
um,
All
so
right.
I think, yeah. Funny.
So are we wrapping up? Do we have anything else to talk about?
No, I think we're at a good ending.
Okay.
I like started thinking about like when my mom got mad at me, so I started going down, down, down. But then I remembered how my friend saved me, so now I'm back up.
So some
Um,
updates are next week there may or may not be an episode.
mm-hmm.
due
I'm
to
traveling slash Philip wants a break because he's a freaking lazy guy and he never goes after his goals of becoming a famous podcaster
well,
like
I
me.
never wanted to be a famous podcaster. I just wanted. You know what? I
And
never
okay,
asked. Okay, you're the one that started the podcast, right? I'm
you
just the
were
one with the.
totally on board though. And I just
Okay.
want to say, I know, like, dude, in the very beginning of this whole podcast, you were, today, in, like, the beginning of the hour, you're like, I don't have anything to talk about. But guess what? You really had that ball rolling. And on top of that, you were talking about something I like to talk about. So, all this to
You know
say,
why? You know
we
why?
won't run
It's
out of
because
topics.
I came in with a good attitude. It's
No,
all.
it's because I'm
Give
a
me the
great
credit.
conversationalist. So
It's
give me the
because.
credit.
It's because I'm just awesome. Viewers,
Okay, bro.
comment who you think is the reason for our
Who's better?
podcast being
Who's better?
awesome.
We should do one of
Yeah.
those TikTok lives where they're like, the bar goes like this,
We should
and
do
we're
a
fighting in
poll.
TikTok live fight.
We should do a poll about who's funnier.
Oh,
That would be a
no
good one.
contest.
I think we appeal to different audiences with our
I
humors.
think so too.
I
And
think
it's interesting to hear like what they resonated with and etc.
yeah.
So guys, comment down below, please.
All
Okay,
right.
let's for our thumbnail, let's do a pose so I can take a screenshot of what this whole episode like. Or is it your yawning?
Perhaps.
I think for MBTI would be like, what would you? I mean, okay, this is kind of a difficult one to do. I don't want to have to scrub through. Let's do one of these.
I don't
No,
want
it's
to. No.
if you're friends with Philip, he will suck the joy out of your life.
Okay,
By the
I'll do
way.
like a Riz pose. How do you do it? They like touch their jaws
It's
or
like this.
something. Oh yeah.
Okay,
When you
you're
use your
not doing
Riz
it right.
MBTI Riz technique, this is how effective it is.
That's mine. Madam Morrible, flip it
All right,
around.
let's close it.
Wicked
Let's close it.
witch.
That was episode 7 of
I
I
enjoyed
Don't
it.
Hate You.
I hate your opinion.
Peace out.